Thank you to Xbox Game Studios for the game key. We're going to be playing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Base game goes for $69.99 and it was released on November 19. For more info, check the video description below. And I feel like because it is a simulator, I feel like we need to play with something. So I dusted off my old Thrustmaster T.Flight Hotas 1. 1 because of Xbox One. But wonderfully still works. And it works pretty good too, which is kind of cool. So we're just going to kind of show you the buttons, the default buttons that they prompt you with here, and just a quick flight, just to kind of show you working. I don't have a camera set up to actually see it physically working, but I mean, you can see that it's brought up in the devices list. I'm going to hit X. I'm going to show you basically all the buttons that it has. As far as I know, these are all your default buttons, and we're actually going to switch to mouse here. So I have like a controller, mouse, and my two sticks. So very busy. Oh, and my microphone. So yeah, it's a very busy tabletop. I could have played this on Xbox Series X, which would probably be a lot better fidelity wise, but I just don't have the space for it. So PC it is. But yeah, you got your elevator, you got your rudders, you got your flaps, you got your spoilers. Pretty much sets you up for everything. And then we'll look at the controller now, because that was the keyboard. And I mean, this is just, again, I haven't really changed anything. So if you wanted to just grab your Xbox controller, I mean, go right ahead. Everything works. And honestly, I think by default, the controller is actually set up better than a Hoitus. Because I had to do some minor finagling. Like I think the B button on the Hoitus remote is more kind of like an optional button. I forget what you call it, but it's like a toggle, I guess. So if you long press the B, then you can actually make other buttons do certain things, and we'll show you. That might be LB for the controller. Oh, X looks like it does it here too. Let's go look at the Hoitus ones, because hopefully that's what you hear about. Not hear about for my amazing flying skills, which are not amazing at all. I like playing casual games, so like I like the shooting ones and whatnot. Microsoft Flight Simulator, super detailed. I play with all the assist on. Kind of like how I do my NASCAR games. I love the sim part, but it's just I don't have enough time to devote to one game. And as you see, my channel, my channel is like a hodgepodge of different games and different genres. Plus, my stick isn't as super fancy as like everybody else's who are like super into it. Which I mean, God love them, man. They put out some pretty cool content out there, flying around and making it look so easy. Which is also depressing too. So here's some couple changes I've made here. Just kind of added the altitude and the master for autopilot. So if you have a long flight, you can kind of set things up and you don't have to worry about just babying the controllers too much. You can kind of take photos, just kind of enjoy the scenery. Not like my passengers who are usually just screaming and praying that they make it alive. And then because this one has a lot of job oriented flying, you do have for spraying, firefighter missions, and other things that you're going to need for the different type of job modes that they have in this game for other certifications. We're just still using the Cessna in the beginning. There's so many types of planes. I've tried using other planes and it's drastically different than what you're using the Cessna. Cessna's perfect for me right now. I can control it and it's like baby mode essentially. Makes it a lot easier to control things. We also did reset here for the cockpit, just because if you're screwing around with your it's like the little nub. I forget what they actually call it, but if you look at the photo, it's like right here. That controls your angles of the camera. And if you are like, especially if you're outside on the third person angle, if you change it around too many times, could be a little off a little bit, and I mean honestly that can screw up your landing if your camera is a little skewed. So I just have that to kind of get me back centered on the camera so it's a little straighter. I can't blame the camera if I crash. Let me see if I could find anything else. It's usually the B ones. So I think I put photo mode at the bottom, which it's like right there. That's the button at the bottom because this is previous, this is next. Which I think this is brakes and this is start, like a long press to start. This, I don't think it was anything. So I just put it for photo mode. But you have to long press B though. Trying to see what else we changed. I think those were mostly it. Yeah, see, we added a reset for the external and cockpit. It's the same button for both of them. Just depends on which angle the dangle you're in. But I think for the most part, I think those were all of our changes. So basically, everything else is default. But anyways, we're just going to do short flight, just going to kind of show you working. It's a lot smoother ride for most people. Mine, maybe not so much. But anyways, we're going to go see you in a minute. Alright, so let's go to the out camera. Back button. There, we already are cranked up. Let's get in there. Yeah, super fun game. Very stressful for me. I'm not used to it as much. Last time I played was the 2020 flight simulator, but I played on Xbox because I totally forgot that I had a flight stick. We're like drifting. Alright, we're ready to go. Here we go. Take off. Gotta keep our tack not super steep in the air. Just kind of balance it out a little bit. Keep on rising. Eventually they'll probably want us to pull back on the power a little bit. Well, step one, we didn't crash already, so we're already half a star in my book. Probably a shakier start than most people would do, but I mean, I've only been able to play this a handful of times. We play a lot of games, a lot of sponsored content. Play a lot of games on the channel. So I haven't had enough time as I would want. Let's close the flaps. And we are, I don't want to say we're sailing, but we're flying. I think about, what, a little lower, because our flight isn't that far, so we probably need to be a little lower. So let's pull back on the steam a little bit. I don't think we need to be super high. I think normally they'd probably want us to be really high, but I think maybe around about 1,000, 11 would probably be a good height. Not a very far flight. I'm not sure if I'm going to show the whole flight because you're kind of mostly just going over water. But it's still interesting nonetheless. And then we'll do autopilot to kind of show you. Now, not touching anything. Autopilot. And it's just gonna kind of do its thing, but we're gonna take it off. And we're gonna go back to normal. And enjoy the view. It's a really beautiful game. Even on my aging PC. Very beautiful game. And again, would look a lot better on my Xbox, but for that I would have to play gamepad. I don't have a table for my Xbox to have a monitor and everything. And see, the downside about going in the cockpit is sometimes your viewing angle is very, very blocked. Like this is if you were just normal, can't see a damn thing. So I'm not using the default plane, the default Cessna. So it has different instruments inside, and unfortunately it's not a big screen in the middle like the default one has. So I might have to switch back to that one just because easeability. It's just a lot easier for a novice like me. I'm not even a novice, even like a lower bar. So anything that could help me not die would be much preferred. And I think if you look far to the right, you can actually see Tropicana Field, or these days what was left of Tropicana Field. That's the white hockey puck looking thing on the right. Well, before we actually land, I'm veering off here to kind of show you Tropicana Field. Really cool. I mean, obviously it doesn't look like it does now after hurricanes. But yeah, that's what we saw in the distance here. We're probably flying really low for this airspace, and we should not be flying in this area. So yeah, this is probably a big no-no, but it's a video game, so just wanted to show you Tropicana Field. And now we have to get back on course to land nearby. We like veered off very much so. It's like not far from where the airport is, but you definitely have to overshoot it because a lot more inland, where the airport's like the runway's like right off the water. So we'll probably give it a little more steam just so we could kind of get a good run. Again, main goal here, not to kill people. So let's hope and stay focused on surviving another one, even a virtual one. Not gonna lie, it's very relaxing. Like when you're just in mid-flight, super relaxing. Having to land, very stressful. Especially for me, who really is just kind of figuring things out as we go. This, super chill. Especially if you're super long flight, you got nothing to do. Slap on autopilot, hopefully you don't get a lot of turbulence. And, I mean, just kind of just head bob. Look at everything, look at all the sights. Enjoy the scenery. Nope. Guess I pressed it twice. Very beautiful game. Alright, well, I think we're gonna end up back in Tampa, so we probably should start making our turn. And I guess we'll see you on our final approach. Just kind of wanted to, because I mean, a lot of this is a very boring flight. You're going over the bay, so kind of had to go over the land somewhere, right? All right, let's pull back on some of the RPMs here a little bit. Let's see if we get a smooth approach coming in. Probably a little lower than they want us to be, but we're like on the low end. We don't want to get too much altitude because it's going to be a rougher landing for us. Again, we're low bar, we're not even obvious. So we'll just try to calmly reel it in here and hold our rosary beads and pray that we won't die a virtual death. Well, we're trying to come really easy in here. I hope we're not coming too slow, because my problem is I always think like I am pulling too far back, but as soon as I kind of get over the runway, I feel like I'm flying over it, or I'm like gaining too much speed. So I'm not really sure yet as to how much speed I need to get to where like I'm not gonna stall out or like fall out of the sky, but be able to kind of just glide into the runway. I can't imagine a Cessna being very difficult to do this compared to like big Boeing planes. Probably need to be higher though. Probably maybe stay around 500, 600. Get too close to the water. And you also kind of get like blocked whether since there's no land, you're very much distracted with how the water is, because I mean right now it's very flat. So very deceiving as to how close you actually are if you're not looking at the altitude, because you could be like right on it and not even know. So again, I don't remember my approach speed, what that should be. So we're just going to try to keep it very low RPMs here. Not to where we're going to plummet in the water. We're just going to try to see if we can touch down with the very least jerkiness we can possibly get here. And then get the brakes going. Oh, bouncing. Okay, well, one bounce is good for me. Whoa, 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 calm down. Calm down. There we go. Applying the brakes. Don't want to get him too soon, because sometimes you hit him too soon, your plane will flip. Been there, done that. Alright, let's get some little bit of gas here so we can go park it. It's not super terrible, not optimal, 100%, I agree. Not optimal landing, but it is what it is. We're not doing this for real. Let's hit our brakes. Now let's get our little momentum going here. We don't collide into other planes on the ground. See if we can make an easy, graceful turn here without clipping anything else. I don't know how to reverse this. Oh, we gotta go like a mile. They really expected us to stop really short, didn't they? Get a good distance here. I don't know. It looks like a little bit, so we might skip this whole part and just kind of jump to the end. And I think we're good. Well, we are on the ground. We, in fact, did not die. But let's not rev the engine anymore. In fact, let's turn it off. Alright guys, well that was using the Thrustmaster T.Flight Hotas 1 on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. This version we're playing on Windows Store, Xbox on PC. Thank you to Xbox Game Studios for the game key. And for more info, check the video description below. And we'll catch you in the next one. Alright guys, later.